date sequence predictive analytics, and from just studying the event trajectories in the field of events that have already been set in motion. So let's look at this. Man, coffee. Oh, I should have had my bag of coffee in here. I'm the very first person to ever order from the Arcades Coffee. Aaron's Choice Coffee for those who want to wake up. I ordered Phoenix Blend. My dad, I showed a picture on X last night. He ordered Ephesian Night. I think it's like a medium dark roast. All right, let's get on. I just wanted to draw my intro out a long time so I can fish out some more of you haters that are always talking about it. If you don't like anything on my channel, feel free to find that exit and get the hell out of here. So start sharing the screen. Yeah, this is just so crazy about this movie. Set in 2025. Set in 2025. Location is Los Angeles, and except for the beginning of the movie, the whole movie, the entire movie, even to the end, Los Angeles is on fire. There's a lot of drops in this movie. All right, I'm sharing the screen. Get straight into this. Okay, so that's shared. I need to move this screen. That's my chat screen. So if that's my chat screen, you guys are now seeing my middle screen. I'm still getting used to having 3 screens and getting used to the fact that my StreamYard sees all 3 screens. It blows my mind. So here is the movie. Lockdown 2025. This is it right here. We lost control. Lockdown 2025. What starts off small just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger from this movie. Now, this movie was brought to my attention. I didn't find this on my own, but in finding this, I went ahead and did a search, and I found this movie. Battlefield 2025. Fighting for our survival. I haven't even watched this movie, so I don't know if I'll be doing a video on it. I don't want to get in the habit of doing a video. My videos on Arcades are rather serious. I don't like doing movie decoders, but I have to bring this to your attention because of the predictive programming. I haven't watched this movie, so I don't know anything about it, but it's Battlefield 2025. I haven't watched this movie either. Armageddon 2025. Welcome to the multiverse. How come I've never heard of any of these movies? I haven't seen this one either, so you guys are welcome to try. I did watch this one. 2025, Blood, White, and Blue. This is a spoof Purge movie. It's a Purge movie. It's all about the Purge. It's crazy. We're going to talk about it. I got some skills I want to show you from this one. They've got some drops in here too. Yeah, in this movie, which was made sometime years ago, yeah, they automatically assumed that President Trump was the president in 2025. That's the background to this story here, when the Purge takes off across America. I did watch that one. All right, so let's I got that intro out the way. I got my deals here. All that's done. Let's get it aside. And let's get into Lockdown. Here it is. Yeah, man, this is perfect. I can zoom in and out. Yeah. Here's our protagonist. Here is the main character. This guy he's got issues. He's got problems. The movie starts off with him shot all up full of bullets. This is how the movie begins. This, for all intents and purposes, is Dad. This is Dad. I'm gonna introduce you to all the characters. But this is Dad. He's shot up, and then that's the intro to the movie. It just shows him all shot up and all like gagging on blood. Next thing you know, it shows the title, Lockdown 2025. Man, this is gonna be good. Oh, I seen somebody talking about Cliff High prediction is spot on so far. Yeah, we have different systems. People have been asking me about Cliff High. I'm going to tell you now. Date sequence, predictive analytics, especially my Opus software that I use is entirely different than what Cliff is doing. Cliff, from what I understand, is he has software developed that pulls words and catchphrases off the internet about what the chatter is. And then, according to the chatter, he does a predictive analysis. That's very different than what I do. I have absolutely demonstrated for my community the calendrics and how they work and how we derive these conclusions. Very different system, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that Cliff's wrong. I'm just saying they're not at all. They're not at all the same. So, Lockdown 2025. So it's like for suspension of disbelief, like any good narrative will do, it's going to show you the world where everything is normal, so that what follows is totally understood to be abnormal. Los Angeles, beautiful city, beautiful, scenes of all around the Los Angeles area. That's how the movie starts. It just shows you all these things. Try to sucker you in. People out there having fun, doing all kinds of stuff. That's how the movie begins. Really low budget movie. Terrible special effects. The drops are real. This is the house where everything takes on. This is the house. 100% of the rest of this movie is inside this house. Why? Because it's locked down. This is a major takeaway that people need to understand. We've talked about Purim. We've talked about March 14th. We've talked about what these mean in the Purge movies. Talked about all this. People think that you're going to be able, when a scenario unfolds in America and in Western nations, and they instantly do an emergency broadcast, you're stuck wherever you are when that broadcast begins. Because the forces that are going to keep you from going outside and going into the streets will have already been put in position before that emergency broadcast interrupts everything. That's what this movie shows. They are locked down. There's no going to your neighbor's house, no good. Now there are some people too go out, and I'm going to show you what happens to them. So these are things we discussed. Lockdown literally means lockdown. Stay in your homes. It's very interesting. I'm going to tell you now, this isn't a doomsaying video. Many people get upset, man. This predictive analytics is showing all these things that are already in the field. But this movie here has some drops at the end that have a positive spin on all of this. Yeah, we're thinking a lot of people are thinking the elite are going to collapse the economy and do all these kind of things. There's more to the story. We'll get to that toward the end of the video because that's where it is in the movie. All right. Yeah, the COVID lockdowns were nothing comparable to the Purge Purim type lockdowns that we've discussed on the second seal. These are like enforced. So let me show you. You'll see it in the video. So here's the house. Dad walks into the opening scene. Dad walks into this room, and his son, for the rest of the show, is called Junior. That's what he's called in the movie. His son's sleeping. He was supposed to build a barbecue pit that his dad had off to the side. He has to put all the screws and the stand together because he's going to barbecue today because this is a special day. Every week for like 25 years, Dad has bought a lottery ticket. That's in this movie. Every week for 25 years, he sits down at the head of the table with the family, watches the screen, and every week listens to the news call off the lotto numbers. In the beginning of this movie, the lottery is bigger than it's ever been before. And he has a lottery ticket. And he's waking his son up mad because his son hasn't made that barbecue pit yet. So when he's kicking on the bed, exactly at this moment where I took this picture, when he's kicking on the bed, the son is listening to some hip hop music. So I turned my volume up, and I was like, wow, the song and whoever the hip hop artist is, the opening song of this movie, the lyrics are saying, everybody just open your eyes. Everyone just open your eyes. This is the theme throughout the movie. Now, so he wakes his son up, gets him up out of the bed, talks a little shit to him. And this preacher and the preacher's assistant, evangelist, they show up at the door. And Dad, he's not trying to hear it. But this is what the preacher says. The preacher shows up at the door and says, he says it's serious, but he's very calm. Babylon the Great has fallen. He said, on this date, when the moon has darkened, a great panic from the Lord shall come upon them, so that each will lay hold of his fellow, and every sword shall be against his brother. So the beginning of the movie sets the tone. What's crazy is that this old black man, maybe quoting a Bible verse, I'm not sure, or combining it with something, tells him that all of this is going down when the moon darkens. He didn't say that when the sun darkens. This isn't a Phoenix phenomenon. This isn't an eclipse, a solar eclipse. When the moon darkens, all of this is going down. That's the first drop of the movie. What were my last two predictions videos about? Lunar eclipse, March 14th, which happens to be pure. So, very interesting that this guy shows up and says this in the only time in the beginning of the year, or in the first half of the year, that the moon darkens is on film. So, and remember, this movie is set in the year 2025. The scene here is in Los Angeles. So, yeah, I like that scene right there. We'll return to it later because the movie goes back to this scene. So, all of a sudden, we switch over from that scene to the youngest in the whole household by a long shot, because everybody else is 16, 17, 18 years old, and then there's mom and dad. This is the only child. And at the exact same time that they're having technical difficulties, the television, the cable's not working, it's all staticky, at the exact same time that they're having all these problems with electronics, the child is the only one that gets sick in the house. Everybody else is fine. All the adults are fine. So, outside, Dad and the little kid here, they go outside and play basketball. Teaching a little kid how to shoot basketball. This guy is parked outside on the side of a building just watching, and you can hear the radio. Nobody calls him or anything, but he pulls out of park and drives away because the radio specifically goes off and says, you can tell he's law enforcement, but it says, code 3, all units return to station, all units return to station, code 3. So he pulls out of park, he just drives off. That's the whole scene. It's gone. So after after he talks to the old black man at the door who gave him the little prophecy. It's like a Jehovah's Witness or something. He goes to an exercise machine where he hangs upside down. When he comes back up, you can hear this tone. In the movie, there's this new sound. It's not music, but there's this sound. You can hear his heartbeat. And it's like some of the sound is trying to mimic a chaotic mind. And he's going through some, there's something happening to him. Now, I think this is the, well, I want to go back to that real quick before we go to this. This is the second link in a movie. Pay attention. This is the second time in the movie that there is a direct correlate between technology and a physical anatomical issue. The kid was getting sick as the TV was getting staticky. Now he's on like a device, an engineering device, an exercise machine, and now this sound appears, and he's going through something. So we have two inferences here of technology having something to do with hurting the human body or harming it in some way. So this guy here, he gets better after a few minutes, and he's watching the lottery with his family. Everybody's at the table and watching the lottery. And he has a lottery ticket. He tunes into the drawing, and it's the largest pot in history. It's $1 billion payout. Now, the TV shows this as well. I found it really interesting on the bottom of the screen. It says, Bard fights to rebuild. It says, journalists are threatened. You remember my other predictions video where we did a movie decode? And the whole movie was really about journalists and bitching about how the military treated them, and the focus was on journalists? Civil War. The movie was Civil War. Came out last year on March 14th. That was pretty interesting. So she's talking about different stuff, about some unusual lights in the sky, a supercharged rainbow storm. Never heard of anything like that. That's what she called it. Here's a couple pictures there. Top story: all kinds of riots are breaking out in different areas. She doesn't specify where it's at, but this is a Los Angeles news broadcast, and you can hear her say, "A city under attack." There's several stills after he watches the news broadcast. The cameraman here, they're having dinner. They're sitting at the table having dinner. The family's together. Okay, while they're having dinner, the director thought it fit to go away from the scene, out of the house, and show outside. Here's the first picture of outside. It's providing you more details for the setting of what follows. The sun is going down, meaning our story really doesn't begin until nighttime. Those of you who watch my last two predictions videos understand the significance of that. This is happening in the evening. It's going to go on all night. The end of the day, everything's normal. Look at that. It's all normal. It's all normal. Different areas of Los Angeles. It's all normal. Sky getting darker. It's still very peaceful, and it's all normal. And they're back in the living room. There's a jackpot Sunday, $1 billion, 25 years sitting at this table as his family grew up. This is their tradition. This is when they all come together, and he always holds that lottery ticket and he watches that story. This is what he does. Oh, one other thing. While they're waiting on the lottery news and the female anchors talking, you can hear in the background a male voice. It's like she has another news feed going. It's very unusual. There's a male voice, another news anchor you can't see on the screen. But the other news anchor says that there's a 20% gain in NASDAQ. What? Prior predictions videos, anybody? Wasn't one of my office predictions specifically about a massive increase in the markets? It was a spike, it's huge, and it's just very temporal, and it's very sudden. So, this is just thrown out there in this movie. So they're watching the lotto drawing, the whole family's eating, and they're waiting, and he's got his lotto ticket ready, and all of a sudden, the program is interrupted with an emergency broadcast. While they're eating, while they're waiting, he's got his lottery ticket right there in his pocket. No, it's in his hand. You can see it right there. He's got that lotto ticket right there in his hand. And then he looks up and he sees the emergency broadcast takes over the lotto. He's all messed up about it. This is what they see. Map of the United States, emergency alert system, please stand by. This movie's so crazy. So, while they're watching this, and while they see this on the television screen above the kitchen table, they all start looking at their cell phones. And one of them has a tablet. Junior has a tablet at the table. All their devices get taken over with the emergency broadcast, not just the television. They all hear the same voice, and it says that martial law has been declared. It is a lockdown. Stay in your homes. Executive order is declared. They even named the executive order. Habeas corpus is suspended. This means you can be executed without a trial, without a judge, a jury, any of that. Habeas corpus is suspended. It means you have no constitutional rights. So, mandatory 24-hour curfew. Looters will be shot. All this is said. It's repeated multiple times. Then there's a blackout. While all this is going on, they're all looking at their devices, basically tripping. TV keeps saying, this is not a test. This is not a test. This is not a test. They're all kind of panicking. These are just stills from the movie of them panicking. Remember, guys, this movie was filmed in 2021. It's never been popular. Its ratings were very low. Here's where things get super interesting. When the emergency broadcast is over, a countdown begins on the screen. The martial law has been effected and the lockdown is 24 hours, but that's not what's on the screen here. The screen starts a countdown of 90 minutes. So interesting. So, it's almost like the movie Lost. Remember that 108 count ticker? So, they learn real fast. The power blacks out. There's a blackout, but it's temporary. And within 5 seconds, the power comes back on. Well, when it comes back on, nobody's cell phones work. They can turn them on and they can use the apps, but there's no cell phone service. There's no communicating with anybody. The landline, all that stuff is over with. Television will only show the news broadcast, and it's only in pieces. Most of the time, it only shows this countdown. So Junior here stands up. First one to get up from the table. That's his mama right there. Junior stands up and says, it's the Illuminati. I'm telling you, it's population control. FEMA coffins. It's the beginning of world genocide. This is a false flag operation. Black Ops all the way. Out of chaos comes New World Order. I'm telling you, it's the Fourth Reich. As soon as he said that, his dad gets up, mad as hell, and tells him to sit his ass down. He's going off. He's on his pulpit. He's just going off. 2021, he said all that. His dad's telling Junior, sit your ass down. Full of shit. Dad's mad as hell. And basically tells him, you got all that from the YouTube conspiracy theories, and I'm not trying to hear it. So Junior sits down in the background. In the background, while they're talking, they keep flashing at that countdown while they're having this conversation. And Junior calms down, but he's not buying it. His dad's pretty upset about the YouTube conspiracy stuff. So the mood kind of changes. It's now, in this conversation, that everything turns toward the window. Things in the window. So there's something going on outside. It's weird colors in the sky, and it's a wind that suddenly arrives. It's unusual, and then it's followed by activity outside. Clouds and chaos, people going outside trying to figure out what's going on and talk to each other and all that. This is what's happening. And the sky seems to pulse. I'm going to show you pictures with an energy. It literally shows energy going out all over Los Angeles. So this energy is represented by the director as a continuous sound that is heard throughout the whole movie. It's just barely there. But when people start really acting weird, the sound is higher. Some of you are having some aha moments. So this guy arrives, they hear gunfire and all that, and he's ducking because he hears gunfire right out the door. And they go outside and they see all this weird stuff. The sky looks weird. They got a second story balcony on this house. Here's a bridge. I took a bunch of pictures of the movie. We'll get to here in a minute. On the balcony. Okay. Go back. During this whole thing, now the young kid throughout this from now here on out, the kid stays sick. So keep this in mind. The kid is down. More scenes about what's going on outside. They're talking on the balcony. They really don't know what's going on. The guy in the middle is Hispanic. He comes from a Hispanic neighborhood in inner city Los Angeles. And Dad don't like him. But he was invited to dinner because that's his daughter's boyfriend. Junior does like him. They get along. They talk about the same things. Now, a guy arrives on the doorstep. He's foaming at the mouth to leave. He's been shot, bleeding bad, but he ignores the pain. Blabbing off about stuff. Dad's just looking at him like, he knows who he is from everything. He's like, really like, this black. So here's the guy right here. He arrives in a state of delusion. He's been shot. He says, you can hear him say, he's crying, and then as he's talking to people, he switches it over and starts laughing hysterically. It's creepy. During the sound, he's doing this as the sound from the sky is at its highest pitch since the movie began. So he goes on this religious tirade, focusing on Dad. He's just going off, focusing on Dad. Looking up at Dad because Dad went and hid behind that gate. I think this dude lost his nuts. So he starts reaching through the gate and he's telling Dad, you're a demon, you're a sinner. He starts mumbling stuff about he that is evil is going to get what he's got coming to him. And it's just going off. And our whole time I'm watching this scene, I'm like, wow, man, I'm telling people about the right. Yeah, man, I'm not talking about good old-hearted Christians, man. I was one of them for many years. I'm not talking about this. I'm a Christian, like the same type of mindset of people who think they're allied to God, who can stand there with their own sons or daughters and listen to somebody screaming high pitch as they burn alive at a stake at a Catholic mass. Yeah, that's Christian life. The same people that were doing that during the burning times are existing right now in the murder. So this guy here, he's going straight Christian life with this guy. So what he's going to have is, he's going to burn all his money. So jets across the sky over Los Angeles, but you never see it. Just here, and then Los Angeles blows up. Well, a part of Los Angeles blows up. And the weirdo's response to this obvious technological situation, his response to this is you must pray because this is God who's brought this judgment. But it's a military jet. So anyway, yeah, despite the technological aspect of the situation, he still leans on everything being related to God. It's God's punishment of evil. So Dad, after the explosion, you got this light over Los Angeles. The light is in the sky. It stays there until the whole episode is over. Here's Mom. She's freaking out because she knows this dude. Dad, he freaked out in a different way. You see Dad here? He freaked out the way most men are going to freak out. He went straight to the stash spot. He went straight to the shotgun. The shotgun shells, the pistol. He was not playing. Dad went straight for everything he needed to do. So while Dad's doing that, you can hear him moving. All the gunshots, the sirens, people screaming, explosions of like armament, military armament stuff. You can hear bombs detonating. All this is going on outside while he's fishing for that shotgun. So he grabs the shells, the shotgun, and the pistol. Just that he's under the bed now getting smoke stuff. Here's he got the shotgun shells. So the sound returns deafeningly to him. Whatever the sound is, it returns, and he has to stop. It stops him from loading the shotgun. He has to catch a knee. He has to slide against the wall and sit down. Before Junior showed up to come over and talk to him, he was by himself. He was going to by himself, but his condition is directly correlated with this sound. He hears it. He just drops the shells. There's a scene in it. I don't think I took a picture of it, but he dropped the shells all over the stairs. Junior came and helped pick them up. In the scene right here, the sound goes away. He's able, sitting there for Junior, to get a hold of himself, load the shotgun. On the staircase, he looks at Junior. All the focus is on the words, all the sound dies. What his dad told Junior, he said, I need you not to be. So Junior's like, oh, and he gets to talk to him, okay, it's some serious stuff, I'm about to go down. So they look outside and they see cop cars, and this is a couple times throughout the movie, these cop cars drive through the streets and they've got this recording. It's not them really speaking, you can tell it's a recording because every one of them sound the same. The movie, martial law has been declared. Stay in your home. Mandatory 24-hour 24-hour Netflix. Just it's on repeat. I did find it very interesting. Dad's philosophy. He gets a shotgun and a pistol. Tells his son, hey man, get ready. But when it turns with the group and the family, I was really interested because of what follows later, what other things that are said. I was very interested that Dad says, all we gotta do is sit tight till this is over. That's what he says. So his deal is whatever the world's going through out there, it's not going to affect us. We're going to stay right here. We're not going to participate. So he's not going to go out there and try and save the world. This is his philosophy. Right after he tells the family that though, you can still hear outside martial law is being declared. Stay in your home. You still hear the recording on YouTube. Now, the daughter right here, in this exact scene right here, the daughter turns to her mother and says, is it really, because they remember what that dude said, who was delusional, said, is it really God punishing us, Mom? And Mom says, I think that as long as we stay inside and together, we'll be safe. This is twice now in the movie that this is said. Now, I'm going to tell you why these drops are important. For those who are not familiar with my prediction video, I'm not predicting the event that's going to be happening. I am predicting the event that's going to be happening. Massive style, epic proportions, and those who choose to participate will later be found guilty for that participation. They're going to think everything's cool and it's all good, and they're going to be favored. So mom looks after the child. Oh, here's the scene. They look out the window. This is what Los Angeles looks like now. A lot of places are burning. Through the whole, you can hear all kinds of fire and all kinds of stuff outside. Now, I'm going to tell you now, throughout the movie, they have this light in the clouds. They have a light in the clouds. Never is it ever explained what that light in the clouds is. However, when they show visual evidence of that sound, that energy that's emanating out over Los Angeles, they always show it coming from that light. I'm totally now. It's a clever way to conceal something that you already know. Here's scenes right here. Here are scenes right here of the shock troops and vehicles going through the street. They've got automatic weapons, and you can hear the recording. Stay in your homes. Mandatory 24-hour lockdown. They're not invading anybody's home. They're not going to anybody's houses in this movie. They're happy. Looking after the child. In the height of the activity throughout this night, the child is still sick. That little boy's been sick the whole duration since the emergency room. So they're kicking it at the table. You can see the counter up there at the top on the screen. They're kicking it at the table. And all of a sudden, gunshots. They hit the floor and they hear gunshots real close. Then they all get down because Junior explains when he runs to the window that their friend, Mr. Martinez, and his family across the street have loaded baggage and personal belongings into their car and were getting in, and all of them got in the car, and only Mr. Martinez was still standing outside of the car when somebody from the street walked up and shot him. And then shot him in the head because he said, oh my God, Mr. Martinez, he shot Mr. Martinez in the head now. That was the second shot. Then, when a bunch of other shots took off, it was a pistol. It wasn't like an automatic weapon. There was a bunch of other shots that took off. Now, Junior was screaming for everybody to get out of the car. And they showed a woman's hand covered in blood inside the car. They didn't show the details. But later you can find out from Junior that the person that walked up on the street just shot everybody sitting in the car. After this incident, everything goes quiet. They show scenes of Los Angeles burning after this incident. He's trying to hold Junior down because Junior tried to jump out the front door to go rescue him. But after this scene of the Martinez family being gunned down, Los Angeles shows scenes of Los Angeles is burning. There's no more sounds. During the quiet part of this movie, the night right now, it shows massive burning of Los Angeles. Here it is right here. While this is happening, they're all discussing. So I'm looking for an eclipse. Somehow, oh, it must have been my blurry picture. It must have been I'm missing a picture, a photo, guys. There's pictures I deleted that were all blurry. One of them I deleted was blurry, but in the movie, if you go watch the movie, you will see right here, after this scene right here, it focuses on a lunar eclipse. It shows that the light of the moon just starts disappearing because the shadow of the earth. That's technically what the lunar eclipse is supposed to be. That's what it shows in the movie. The moon starts vanishing. It's the lunar eclipse. You guys know from the predictions videos what the lunar eclipse signifies. Yeah, I wish I had that picture. That's one of the blurry ones up in the movie. So the two younger males are discussing the possibility that the televised countdown is to mark some type of event. But they never say what that event is or no postulate. So in this scene here, the daughter's boyfriend, who Dad don't like, Dad's about to eat some chicken right there in that moment, and the young kid knocks it out of his hand. The daughter's boyfriend slaps that food out of his hand, then says, when they're all looking at him like, what the hell just happened? Are you out of your mind? They're all looking at him like, no, you lost your mind. Dad don't know what to do. His dad's already wanting to beat him up earlier in the movie. So, he raises some good points. He says, hey, the food and water might be poisoned because Evan, he's the kid. Evan was the only one to eat a little something, and he's been sick all night. So, this is he's basically explaining he tried to save Dad. So then he goes on and says the only way to carry out a mass attack is through food and water. And JR, the son, agrees, and then says this. Very unusual. But JR right here responds by, yeah, man, yeah. He says, you know what? You could potentially kill billions with the right toxin. So, this is the conversation these two young men are having. And in the middle of the conversation, we ain't got that far yet. Because Dad, I need to show that part, because Dad got up and pulled that shotgun out when his son said that about the toxins. Dad got up and pointed a shotgun at the kid and said, I'm a liar. And a liar. You lying. That's what the dad said. He said, I'm a liar. And I'll recognize a liar. You lying. You know what's going on out in Los Angeles. You need to come up. The whole family's freaking out. He's really shotgun on his kid. They calm dad down, lower the shotgun. But dad's on to him. Dad gets him talking to him. Yeah, man, I knew you were something. He tells him a story about this, like a group of patriots that are fed up with the establishment and all that together. And it sounds like a cover story, but yeah, that's what happened. So he turns around, starts looking at the same minute that all these glasses right here on the table start shaking. And everything's shaking on the table. They quit fighting and arguing, and everybody's looking at the table like everything's just vibrating. All looking at the vibrating glasses. So they go outside and look, and helicopters fill the sky, but they're leaving Los Angeles. Just leaving. They're going on. And then they disappear and it gets all quiet. Now I didn't take the pictures, they all came out blurry, but it also showed police cars leaving. And then everything gets quiet. The whole house is quiet, LA is quiet. And they go back to the meal. So after law enforcement, after the helicopter is gone, and after the law enforcement is gone, it doesn't take a long period of time before the gunfire starts. But it's different now. Law enforcement and military have left. Now there's sporadic rifle fire, pistol, gunfire. There's all kinds of noise in the streets. It's a different activities going on now outside. Continues on through the night. And the boyfriend over dinner, there's a cop car that are leaving. And the boyfriend tells dad about an American group of resistance fighters from all walks of life that were planning a huge event that would wake up the world. Hackers, revolutionaries, judges, and lawyers were in on it. Some doctors, people from all walks of life. He names Crips and Bloods, Vatos. He just goes on and talks about everybody who's involved in this. And they had a certain name, I can't remember what it was, but they're just the revolutionaries and hackers and resistance fighters in America. And the whole thing was really painted like he was describing a Q operation, a Q psyops. Instead, it's just, you guys know I'm real big on exposing the Patriot classification program, guys. They're all over YouTube. Let's see. Anyway, he explains all this, and they look out the windows, LA's just burning. Told you, LA's burning throughout the whole movie. 2025, lunar eclipse, LA is burning. All this is setting. We're looking out different windows and stuff. Alright, so the kid takes off. He wants to go find out what's going on with his family. Boyfriend. The whole time he's on the streets, he's being shot at. Machine gun fire, there's explosions, there's people being killed in the streets. That's him running right there. Here he is right here with a helicopter on him. The helicopter comes out of nowhere and just starts machine gunning the whole street. While it's all going down, they're taking care of the kid. The kid is still sick through the whole night. He's messing with a ham radio. You can see that the news is now showing different stuff that's going on. It didn't show anything. It didn't show anything with law enforcement and the military in the streets. But now that the law enforcement and military has vacated, now the news is showing what's going on around different areas. stores and stuff. Again, the TV goes out. He's messing with the ham raider. When the TV comes back in, it still has a countdown. 24 minutes left right here. Then, another little twist that links us to they're hiding in the basement. You saw that mask he was wearing. Yeah, the mask. You never get a good shot of the mask. I tried so many times to get a good shot of the mask. He whips around too much. He finds me in the basement. The dad came up right behind him, took him out. So he's laying here, he's still wearing the mask. Okay, so those are other blurry pictures I removed. They killed him. But before he died, the guy shot in the basement. As he's dying, this is what he said. Babylon is waiting on this day when the moon is dark. A great so that each of a holy spell, every man's soul he chokes a few times, and then he says, he dies. So that kind of freaks out the whole family. The dude remembers the old man said that in the very beginning of the movie. The old black man, the old preacher showed up. This is exactly what he told the preacher to get his ass off my property before I called the police. And the old black man and that female, they left. Those were the words of the movie. So they talk. I don't know what happened to the truck driver. Okay, Dad right here has another one of those weird spells, and the listener on the movie can hear that sound. You can hear that sound that's going over that way. Dad's having another one of these spells. Dad freaks out. He pulled that gun on that kid. He freaked out over it. He gets a hold of himself. He gets better. They show pictures outside at night. And Junior gets the ham radio working. And she starts playing with it. And they were playing with it earlier at dinner, and then they put it away. And then all of a sudden they call, somebody comes through, and they talk to a truck driver. The truck driver says he's trapped on the bridge. They can see the bridge out of one of the windows in the house. So they're talking back and forth with the truck driver. And Junior says, man, what do you know, man? He said, because they find out the truck driver hurt, his legs hurt, he's stuck in the cab, his 18-wheeler is on his side, and he's just laying there, and he doesn't have any help. He's exhausted. And Junior said, okay, man, well, can you tell us anything that's going on? We got no news, no cell phones, what the news you can tell us anything. So, truck driver, Spawn, he says, I haven't slept or yet ate 2 days trying to stay in touch. 2 days I drove like the wind, the fever. People caught up, swept up into a frenzy of kill or be killed. And then he goes off and kind of pontificates. He says, you know, God used it many times in the past to destroy his enemies, afflicting them till they killed themselves. Somewhere out there, a spark was lit, and it started a fire in the hearts of men. A fever, not in the body, but a fever of the mind. He never said it anymore because they sit there and listened on the ham radio as he was explaining that men were getting closer and closer to him. They heard gunshots, and that conversation was over. So the movie, action-packed, guys. It was entertaining. I was more amazed by all the drops. Here they look out the window again. That's what they see. I didn't know. Empress Cost says the movie is on YouTube. I didn't even know that. I just looked it up on Amazon Prime. So. As the ticker is almost done, they're almost at the final minutes of the ticker. The kid just gets up. No problem. Gets up like he's never been sick. Goes downstairs and sees the whole family looking at the bridge where the truck driver died. They're all looking out there. The young son just looks out the little window on the front door. Instead of one of the windows of the house, he looks out the window on the front door and sees this dude walk up. And then they all see the kid. They all see the young boy cheating on mama grabs the young boy. Oh, wow, you feel better now. Awesome. Well, this guy shows up. And for that, there's more to the story, but it doesn't have anything to do with it. There's more to the story. I don't want to give it all away. Who's this guy? I'm just going to let you know, he introduces himself as a detective who shows his bad. And so they're asking him, hey man, what the hell happened? This is the guy you saw in the car at the beginning of the movie. I showed him. When he got that code 3, all units returned to the station. He's the guy. So, I'm not going to give all these things away. You need to go watch the movie. So he tells them, all he knows for sure is that 15 cities were all poisoned. But no one knows what the poisoning was. No one can pinpoint what exactly was hurting people. 15 cities weren't able to contain it. Los Angeles was one of the 15. And the chaos then spread everywhere. It was uncontainable. Not the poison, not the malady, but the chaos was not containable. So, it's interesting that daughter's talking to dad right now. Dad's having a meltdown because he found out who this dude really is. Dad's having a meltdown, an emotional meltdown. Oh my God, I can't do this. I ain't gonna give it away. The guy is integral to what happens next. There's the countdown in the back. Dad's sitting down. He's all effed up in the mind. So, it's really interesting that Dad says something, and it's been said 3 times in this movie. Lies turn into the truth. Lies turn into the truth. It's funny how lies turn into the truth. Okay. This is what it said 3 times in this movie. Now, 3 separate times said in this movie as well is, this is just how I dreamed it. Dad said it, Mom said it, and this other dude I just showed you earlier says, they all said it. It's 3 times in the movie. This is just how I dreamed it. I just want to bring those to your attention. So we have the sound. Throughout this movie, when people start freaking out, it's the sound in the sky. Dad is listening to that sound. That sound is in his head. It's in his mind. It's in his head. And Dad is going through a change. That sound is pulsing from These pictures don't give it justice. If you watch the movie, you can see the pulse going out all over Los Angeles. The camera wasn't able to pick it up, so I'm literally taking a picture. My device taking a picture of the screen. It just doesn't work that way. Dad freaks out and pulls his shotgun out. All hell breaks loose. This is the end of the movie, guys. All hell breaks loose. They all stayed in the house. They obeyed the rules. They obeyed martial law. Dad freaks out. Second time he pulled the shotgun out in the night. And it becomes a bloodbath. This guy, the detective, gets shot. The detective shoots back. The daughter gets hit. All happens fast. Dad gets hit. Daughter gets taken down to the floor. Super fast, rapid scenes. The detective gets perforated. Detective gets down. Mama's down. Outside, LA is home. Things are falling from the sky. They're falling for odd, weird angles. These are not acting all the way. Yeah, like cluster bombs. This is not astronomy show. Things don't behave like that in reality. Nothing coming from one source will ever enter a different angle. Crazy. Anyway, this is what's going on. It's apocalyptic. Again, the pulse increases. It's in the sky. It's just pulsing all over LA. And then it's over. It's just totally over. The pulsing stops, the noise stops, the gunshots stop, all the chaos outside stops, everybody in the house is dead. Dad is now looking at the sun. Telling the son. So weird, too. So weird. I don't know who wrote this movie. He's telling the son the most important. You gotta understand, he knows he's gonna die. Dad knows he's dead. He's got gunshot wounds, he's bleeding out. And he tells the son, there's anything that you can do in life. He just killed his whole family. This is the talk he's having. He's got a pistol in his hand while he's talking to his boy. He's looking at the boys looking at the TV countdown. Oh yeah. So the TV countdown goes off. It goes to 0. It gets to 0 while they're there. And all of a sudden, ordinary, normal programming returns as if nothing happened. Ordinary programming returns. They continue with the lottery, with the whole lottery deal going on, and he's losing his mind because his ticket matches the winning numbers of the billion dollar jackpot. Here's the guy in the here's the dude for the lottery dancing. It's like the commercial never stopped. It's like the whole broadcast never happened. The emergency broadcast, none of that happened. But he's full of holes and his whole family's dead. So he's right here. After he pulls himself together, he gives his son the lottery ticket. He tells his son, you know what to do. You know what to do with this. And while he's wandering around the house, the girl's boyfriend comes back. He made it home and made it back. At the end of the movie, the girl's boyfriend comes back and sees. Well, before he sees all the bodies, the boyfriend walks in the door. He's about to get shot. Dad doesn't shoot him. He says, there's no poison attack. It's all been a big lie. There's no attack. It's all big lies. Dad, family dead, won the lottery, he's dying full of holes. He walks outside. When he walks outside, he hears them say, martial law was for 24 hours. Stay inside your homes. This whole incident only lasted an hour and a half, 90 minutes. 90 minutes of all this massive chaos. But the actual lockdown is for 24 hours. And even though everything looks like everything's back to normal and it's all good and he still went outside, he got machine gun. Dad's having a real bad day. Martial law has been declared. Stay in your home. Mandatory 24 hours in effect. So, Dad goes back. He goes back and gets machine gun, and Dad wakes up on that same device. That sound was driving him nuts. Affecting his health. He wakes up here. Old preacher shows up at the door. Dad wakes up and realizes, damn, all that was a dream. The old preacher shows up at the door and says the exact same thing he said. Come back, video about the Babylon the Great has fallen on this date when the moon has darkened. A great panic from the Lord shall come upon them, so that each will lay hold of his fellow, and every man's sword shall be against each other. So he hears that in one of the last scenes of the movie. Is him turning around and looking in toward his wife and saying something, and then looking at the old black man and say, "Come on in, come on in." He didn't threaten him to get him off his property this time. He said, "Come on in." So, you guys know most of my videos are 2.5, 3 hours. Sometimes I'll go 4 hours long. But I covered that in the most abbreviated way because we have a standalone movie from 2021 that it checks all the boxes. This is epic predictive programming for the year 2025. LA burning for the year 2025. Some real chaos being planned, executed, or begun on the lunar eclipse day, which we've already ascertained by many other species of analysis, March 14th, which happens to be a holiday that is dedicated to that activity called Purim, which is connected in the calendars, as I've shown multiple times, to all the movies of the Purge franchise, which describes exactly that, which leads us to another very weird, unusual movie. A total coincidence, or is it? Who would have thought that this weird movie here, have any of you ever seen such a movie? 2025. Blood, White, and Blue. Red, White, and Blue. Blood, White, and Blue. It's a Purge movie, but it's not a part of the Purge franchise. It is, according to the movie, President Trump is the president. This movie was made back then. But according to this movie, President Trump is the president. And in 2025, there's a purge. And they plan for that purge. It's creepy. It is creepy. This let me see right here. I got some stills on it. In the very beginning of the movie, these two guys are having a racist conversation. Right here. They're watching Mexican guys having to work outside, and they're sitting there talking about them and how you know, Trump built the wall, but it really didn't work. And the shorter one talking about, you know what, Trump just needs to build a second wall. And this is the conversation they're having. The tall one wants to kill the short one. The tall one keeps saying, "What are you going to do for purge night?" Oh, instead of getting back with some friends and family. Oh yeah, you must have your place really outfitted. Bars on the windows and all. He says, "Nah, I just trust the people around me. I really don't have that." So the tall one looks at it, "That's good to know." So he keeps, it's a spoof. He keeps dropping hints that I'm gonna be there tonight to kill you. But these are federal agents, but they're in the purge and the suspension of all rules. So I found it very interesting that they pegged Trump as being president in 2025 in this movie, and it's a purge scenario. And even the picture is really weird. Let me show you the picture. Here's that guy right at home. He's at home. The purge starts. There it is. His friends and family are just kicking back. There it is. Emergency broadcast system. All these purge movies scenario. Let's start that way. Emergency broadcast system. Let's go. What was it in the purge? The NFFT. That was the new government. This is not a test. This is the emergency broadcast system. Commencement of the annual purge is about to begin. All government officials have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Go figure. After the siren, all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 hours. All emergency services will be unavailable until
now
tomorrow
taxes
morning at 7
is getting the
a.m.
TurboTax app.
Second siren.
And filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year.
May
Now
God
this is taxes. File free in the app by
Purge
2/18
in
and switch to
session.
TurboTax.
Countdown
Do it
begins.
yourself.
There it is.
AT&T Business helps
So
us
it's a
make quick work
spoof
of big
movie.
uploads.
So many
I can't even
uploads.
take it
Francis
seriously.
Bigger.
I wouldn't even be doing movie reviews or any of that had it not been so uncanny that all this date sequence, predictive analytics output and calendrics output merges perfectly with what we're seeing in the field and the predictive programming of these older movies. It's crazy. These are just purge in session. Okay, here we go. I showed you the purge costumes and the pure costumes. There's no distinction from them. I showed that in the last video. Here they are outside, getting ready. Got a nice piece there. See his little laser on the bottom. He's got manual scope and he's got a regular scope. Oh, that's a banana clip. Yeah, he's ready. He's ready for the purge. Right there. This guy answers the door. I don't know what's on TV there. Looks like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's right there. Oh, he's sneaking up behind that little girl. Right there. Joe Biden's on TV. But in the movie, Trump's president. This is who's at the door. Set up. Your parents are trying to get this dude purged. It's set up. Here's his federal agent homeboy. He went and got. He's in the middle. The tall guy. He's in the middle. They're coming over there to get him. Yeah, man, it's a spoof movie, but it's crazy. It's just the similarities are so crazy. I'm gonna stop sharing that. Back in here. So Sean Henderson has sent me some really compelling material because I had given you guys dates, things that were very important in the calendars that were connected to March 14th. Sean found something that I hadn't seen before, and he had sent it to me on email, but I never used it. I thought it was very interesting. He found something that I just missed. Happens all the time. But Sean Henderson sent me another email I saw not even an hour before. Couldn't believe it because I love that season. I love that show. Supernatural. Dean and Sam going around slaying all the urban legends. Pretty good. Just but they do get a lot of facts right. They're researching all the cryptozoology and urban myths, and they go into the detail. They go into some pretty good detail. They got a good research team on banshees and liches and on vampirology and all that. They're pretty good at what they do. So, in one of the Supernatural episodes, Dean and Sam come across a guy who's not a god, but he could be. Metatron. And in the episode, Metatron claims he will ascend to the throne of God. And when he does, everyone's going to call him artificial intelligence X anyone. I appreciate Sean Henderson for sending me that. But even more important, in that episode, talking about the seals, the breaking of the seals. And in that episode, I'm taking you at face value because I haven't gone back and watched it. But Sean Henderson says that Sam and Dean learn about the seals being broken through the apocalypse. And the second seal concerns small arms combat and small weapons like knives. And that's really compelling. It goes back to all my
eating in
videos,
or dining out. Both are
Greek
rewarding with the American Express Gold
seals
Card.
and not the Judeo-Christian
So are you in or are you out?
Like I
The
said,
Amex Gold
most of my
Card
videos are
serves
very
up
long.
everything
This one
just
didn't
the way
need
you
to
like
be.
it. From
You guys
all
need
your
to
favorite
watch the video to
places.
see whatever other drops I missed. But
So
I
whether you're
couldn't
dining
believe
in
it
or
when I
out,
saw it,
with American
and
Express,
ordinarily, I wouldn't have
it's
made
always a good
video
time.
about it.
The American
But we
Express Gold
just
Card.
did
Live the
two
good life
big
indoors and out
predictions
and explore the
videos back to
benefits,
back.
credits, and
Using
perks
two different,
waiting for
entirely
you.
different data sets, coming to the same exact conclusion. And now this movie pops up in my field. So, yeah, that's my presentation, guys.
Like a relentless
I'm not
weed,
keeping this one long.
moderate to severe
Hour and
ulcerative
30
colitis
minutes. I
symptoms
think I
can
broke
keep
a
coming
record.
back.
I
Start
still
to
got
break
coffee.
away from UC with Tremfya,
How'd that
with
happen?
rapid relief at 4 weeks. Tremfya blocks a key source of
Man, I don't
inflammation.
even know if I can get to the bottom of this
At
chat.
1 year, many people experienced remission, and some saw 100% visible healing
Yeah,
of their
for all.
intestinal lining.
If you guys don't
Serious allergic
understand
reactions and increased risk of
how
infections may
relevant or
occur.
important
Before
these
treatment,
drops
your
are
doctor
in
should
this
check
movie,
you for infections
all
and
you have to do
TB.
is
Tell
go-
your doctor
go
if you
to
have
my
an infection,
previous
flu-like symptoms, or if you need
my
a vaccine.
previous live
Healing is
live
possible
video,
with
you go to
Tremfya.
that, and
Ask
there's
your
a
doctor
whole
about
link in
Tremfya
there.
today.
I think it's 11 videos, all predictions videos. Yeah, I don't take them down; they're there. Just click onto them, and then you'll understand exactly what my archaics veterans are seeing, what they're understanding, because these aren't casual predictions. They are supported by a tremendous amount of data. So it's very unusual. So crazy. Hollywood's always telling us the business. Hollywood's always telling us.
It's gotta be me. There's no way someone else could feel this
So
way I feel
I have to
about you.
tonight. I have to finish going through the Opus website. We have a whole website. You will not be like my drives and my Shopify site, and merchandise, contact emails, stuff. All that's open. Opus is completely different. You have to go to a website. You have to go in through the gates of the website because that's where it is. And so it's not even. It has nothing to do with our kids. Those of you who've been following me for a long time know that we are pretty much finished the Opus software. And we open up things subscriptions. Yeah, well,
It's got to be the right time, the right place, the right kind of moment.
our fun with it. We're gonna have so much fun with it that we're actually planning a trip. And I am forbidden to do detail on it because we don't want to swamp the place and then expose our hand. But yeah, we're gonna have some We're gonna have a blast, and you guys already know I'm all about showing. I'm not about telling you about these things. I'm about showing them to you. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Oh, it's gonna blow some people's minds. But we cannot hit ourselves. We cannot allow ourselves to become oversaturated. I've got 5 people, and we all do different things and all that stuff. So I'm not going to be able to take more than maybe 120, 200 subscribers. Then we have to cap it off. We have to be realistic. We know that subscribers are going to be asking us to run predictions on all kinds of things and all that. We're just going to have to keep it at a manageable level. This is for 180 days beta, and then we're going to figure out with that data. Figure out exactly what makes it turn this into an app, or we turn it into a program, or we're going to sell it out. Don't know. Yeah, man. Oh, you got my predictions on your refrigerator? That's pretty good, Deb. Pretty good. Yeah, that is so crazy. The whole thing with LA is just really crazy too. LA qualifies as part of it. Not a full fulfillment, but a partial fulfillment of the second seal. The second seal is about fires erupting in all different places. Remember, the second seal is about attacks against infrastructure. I think if you built a whole series of neighborhoods and all the attacks, all the buildings and industries around that qualifies as attacks. They arrest some poor bastard and say he's an arsonist. Come on. They just stay there. He didn't start all those fires. Yeah. I'm not gonna share this out further. I just wanted to bring that movie to your attention. It just blew my mind, man. I haven't even watched those other two 2025 movies.
Do you have a Walt Disney World
Crazy. I really
moment?
don't want to either. I've
So
done
many good
enough.
ones.
I've got enough material.
We got
here
engaged
on
at Magic
DC.
Kingdom right in front of the castle.
The moment was perfect. It is my happy place, so it's something I'll never forget.
It's just
My princess in
amazing.
front of her castle.
Probably got
and
some
that's what
interesting
matters
things
to
I'm
me.
going to be dropping on Twitter tonight. I quit following Robert Seifer.
With
I've been
moderate to
following
severe plaque
Seifer, where I
psoriasis,
haven't
my
said
skin
anything
was
about
no
it.
longer mine.
My active
I mean, there
psoriatic
comes a point in
arthritis
time
joint symptoms
when-
held me back.
I already quit following David Icke. I'm not resonating with him anymore. Robert Seifer's okay. I mean, I never had involvement or anything. It's but kind of, he's made 4 or 5 comments, maybe 3 to 5 comments on other people's feeds, and I have participated in those chats, and I've never seen him ever respond to any of my comments. That's cool. I mean, a whole bunch of people don't. But I woke up yesterday with some screenshots from somebody who's been following Robert Seifer for a long time, and Robert has released a post on Giants. Well, all the guy did was say, hey man, Jason of Arcade has a book on Giants, has a lot of stuff to say about that. He even shows the chronology of when Giants existed and when they didn't. So, you know what? I just had to unfollow him when Robert Seifer blocked him. Remove those comments. And that makes a lot of sense to me now, why we need to silence. So I have a lot of people that follow me, but it's kind of passive aggressive. You follow me for you don't want to entertain the dialogue, you don't want to communicate, you don't want to talk, you don't want to come to the table, you follow me for it. So I get a lot of that. There's a whole bunch of YouTube channels that follow me and they come out with their own spins on a lot of my research and all that. And that's good. That's what life is about. All fun. All fun. Every single video that's put out on YouTube should be a soup of all the things that do this every country.